Good morning, guys. It is Zack, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I start every Python project in 2025. With that said, let's dive in. Bleep. So, the first thing I'm going to do is create a new folder for my project on my desktop. I'm going to call this my new Python project 2025, like so. I'm going to right click, open this up with Cursor instead of VS Code as I was using previously, because Cursor is a more in my opinion, it's a bit more useful and it has a better AI interface in general. So it makes it easier to use LLMs like ChatGPT or Claude Sonnet or whatever you're pretty much interested in right out of the box. So it does have those features built in. Now, once I create my project, typically I'm going to use a virtual environment from the start. So these days I'm actually using Poetry, whereas before I was using PipEnv. Now, Poetry, it's just a more modern way of managing virtual environments that I like a lot, and it's really nice to work with, so let me show you. So in order to install it, the typical way is, if assuming you already have Python installed on your computer, you would say pip install pipx first, and once you have pipx, you would then install you would say pipx install Poetry, and that should get Poetry on your system. Now, once you have that installed, I'm going to say Poetry init-n, and that will create this pyproject.toml file. The -n is just to skip the normal dialogue that it gives you if you don't type it. So for example, I'll delete that and say Poetry init. And it walks you through a bunch of naming stuff that you can just change in the file itself. So I typically don't do it that way and just say Poetry init-n, and that just skips it. So that's that. Now, with this, once you have your pyproject.toml file installed, then you can start adding your packages, or I say installed, but created. You can start adding your packages like this. So now, instead of writing pip install whatever the package name is, now you're going to write the following: Poetry add whatever your package. So in this case, I'm going to add requests. And you can see the file was updated right here. So that's the thing. If I say pip freeze at the moment, currently it'll just show everything in my global Python. But if I say Poetry, well, if we actually log into the virtual environment, so the way to do that by default is technically Poetry env activate, and that gives you a command to activate your virtual environment right here. Bloop. And as you can see, it's working. Now, there is another way that requires an extension, which is what I installed and typically use. So I just say Poetry shell, and it just logs me in like that. And if I say pip freeze, all the packages are there properly. Another thing you can do if you want to see, like if you're currently, or at least if you want to see the packages, is you can say Poetry show, and that will show everything that's currently installed in your project. If you want to see only the ones that you actually intended to install instead of all the dependencies, you can say Poetry show -t, and as you can see, it only shows requests. So that's pretty freaking convenient in my opinion. So now, just to show you sort of how this works, I'm going to actually use this package to just get the h1 tag from my website, for example. So URL, that's the URL for my website, and then I'm going to say what is it, response equals request.get. I would also like bs4, so from bs4 import beautiful soup, and then I'm just gonna write get the h1 like so, and then I'll just print the whole tag just to see if it works. So first we're going to add bs4 like so, and then in order to actually run this, we should be able to do it right from the virtual environment. So I'm going to say python app.py Right. And that is my H1 tag on my website. It uses Tailwind, that's why there's a lot of a lot of space there, but we can also just print the text if we want to. Do that. Python app.py. Boom. I teach people how to code fast. So, with that said, let me show you a few other things that you have to do if you want to use some of the other features instead of running it from the terminal. So let's say you don't necessarily want to log into the shell for some reason. We can exit it right here. And then we can also say poetry run python app.py, and that will run the script in your virtual environment for you, so you don't actually have to use the whole shell to do that. Another thing is if you want to use the play button that comes with the VS Code Python extension and have that work, because currently it does not, because it's not set up. To do that, you actually have to go down here and click here, find your virtual environment for this project. So typically it uses the name. So I'm going to say my new Python project 2025 right here. Click that. And now if I run this again, it works. So that is, hold on, bleep. That is pretty much how I use and run my Python projects today, and it's very convenient in a whole setup. And actually, if you want me to show you that without all the explanation, let me do that now. So we're gonna do that whole process from scratch just so you can see how quickly it can be done. So bleep, gotta try that again. New project 2. Right click, open with cursor. Open up the terminal. Poetry init-n. Poetry add requests. Oh, I could have wrote BS4 too, but poetry add BS4 as well. And here, I'm going to create my app.py file. I'm going to say import request. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just use cursor in this case. So I'm going to say write a script that gets the h1 tag from my website, https www.zackflochet.com. Okay, so that kind of did overkill, but just wanted to give you the picture here. So I'm going to press Control Enter, and that will write it for me. I'm going to run it down here, poetry run app.py. Whoa, whoops, that was wrong. Poetry run python app.py. That was actually just opening cursor there. So, and then it works. So with that said, that's pretty much the whole process, and of course you'll build much more complicated things than that, hopefully. Or if you're a beginner, that's pretty much fine. And yeah, cursor and these tools will help you get very far, very fast. Though it is also better if you write your own stuff, or if you at least know how to write your own stuff, because sometimes cursor can add bloat, which you don't want, because like that's just way too much stuff right there. So either way, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, my name is Zack Flochet, and I teach people how to code for a living. Until next time, bye for now.